We're about halfway through. And by the way, snooker in 20 minutes. Boy, I had a lot more to say, but I'm not going to say it. I do want to express some thank yous in closing. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that everyone who's going to the QRS reunion after this, it's fine to go to chat right after we're done here. And for anyone else who wants to join us for drinks, please do so. I want to again thank Fid and Toes. I mean, you could see from the people who came up here, this wasn't just going through the motions. We loved Howard. We all loved Howard. He touched us all, and many people have said that. So thank you, Fid. Thank you, Toes. Really appreciate you guys pulling this off. Thank you for everyone who's here today. So many special people. It's really been amazing seeing these faces. I kept thinking during this, and this is pretty trite, but boy would he have loved this. Norm, you wouldn't have liked the attention, but boy would he have loved to have seen these faces again. The last couple of months have been extremely hard for me. I talk to Howard all the time. I saw him probably every 6 weeks. And I've really been looking forward to today because it's been a very sad time, and I knew today was going to be about Howie and all the stories we've heard here today. And so this was very healing for me. I hope it was healing for you guys. Thank you for those who spoke today. Some wonderful stories. The Munn story, we talked about everything, but apparently we never talked about that story. I can't believe it. So thank you for making that up, Munns. I want to thank my mom, who I hope many of you met. My mom, for being here today, wasn't easy. She just broke her hip about 6 weeks ago and is still in a rehab facility, and so wanted to be out here today. And I love you, Mom, and I really appreciate you making the effort to be here. Also want to thank those who came from far away. Norm, unbelievable. Norm flew in last night, and he's flying out tonight from Colorado. Unbelievable. Munns, appreciate you coming up from some other state. What state is it? Some New Jersey. Phil, my friend Phil. Phil knew Howard, met him out in California. Good friend of mine out in California. Phil, I really appreciate you coming up for this. It means a lot tonight. Thank you, Win and Drin. For those of you who don't know, Howard's parents, Adrian, Erwin, we called them Win and Drin. Thank you for raising such a wonderful guy. He really was a terrific guy. And he was clearly a product of both of you. I mean, it's amazing to know Howard and to know the two of you the way I do, and to see so much of each of you in Howard. He really was an amazing balance of both of you. And boy, did he cherish the relationship. He cherished your relationship like no other. And I know you know that. And I thank Howard for Win and Drin, because I feel that you guys are terrific friends of mine, and I'm thrilled with that. I do have a few more comments. I will make these quick. I want to thank my dear friend Howard for a lifelong friendship and everything a great friendship should be. Our friendship really changed a lot over the years. For many of you, you'll remember back in Quaker Ridge, Howard and I weren't the best of friends. We were friends, but we weren't close friends. Howard and I became very close friends in late high school, and as I said, continued that friendship and went out to California together. We had amazing memories over the years, fun times, sad times, frustrating times, hilarious times, scary times. Michael, I'll talk to you some other time about a very scary moment in our trip cross country. And we loved being adult kids together. As I said before, that was really, I think, the bond we had. Quick story, my sister Kathy, who's also here, and I really appreciate Kathy and Patty being here. Kathy and I have had this argument over the years, and it's a really childish one, but I actually am serious about it. Last year, Howard and I got together, and for some reason, we always had a stupid game that we were playing, and we decided we were going to try to remember as many cartoon characters from our childhood as we could. So we're writing down the obvious ones, and we get to the ones that aren't so obvious. Spunky and Tadpole, and Dodo the Kid from Outer Space, and we get to Bugs Bunny. And we got to Bugs pretty early. And I told you we used to have philosophical discussions. We started having a philosophical discussion about Bugs Bunny. I say, okay, I got to ask you something, Howard. Kathy and I have had this conversation many times over the years. What's your assessment? Was Bugs Bunny a victim of other people harassing him, or was he a bad guy? And so we actually had about a half-hour conversation on this. I was shocked that Howard took Bugs' side and actually felt that Bugs was well-intentioned. But come on, obviously Bugs was not a nice guy. I think you'll agree with me, David. Anyway, those are, I told you we could talk about anything. We were proud of each other's accomplishments. We were helpful in tough times. I trusted Howard's opinions, and we each depended on each other's thoughts when times got tough. He got me and I got him. And we had similar values, similar views on people in the world. We had so many experiences together. I'm sure several of you will identify with this next comment. 47-year friendship, all these stories, all these inside jokes, we were actually pretty annoying together. Bill, would you agree with that? And we did everything as a team, which was fun. Howard loved the concept of a team, and I think Tibbs was talking earlier about how much he loved last year in the sports camp. Howard loved playing with a team. He loved driving a team to win. And Howard and I, when we played sports, we would always play as a team. So we'd play golf, and we'd always say, okay, we're going to set a line of our combined score, and we're going to play for $3 against Howard's mom and my mom for $3. And we would do this in everything that we did, we would do together. And part of the reason we did this was I am actually a really bad sport, and Howard did not feel like dealing with my bad sportsmanship, but the other part of it was he loved playing in a team. One last quick story about the team. We weren't always a great team. Some of you who were our gambling buddies will remember this story. The first time we went to a thoroughbred horse race, it was a match race, and it was probably 1975. And a match race is when one horse runs against another horse, and it was Foolish Pleasure and Ruffian, Belmont Park. And Howard and I go out there, and we're really excited, huge crowd in attendance, and what I can tell you is that Howard and I bet on the horse that eventually died in the race.
No, that was another time.
No, that was another time. In closing, I always appreciated the friendship I had with Howard, but I've come to realize over the last couple of months how lucky I was to have that friendship with a guy as special as Howard was. I'll miss him every day for the rest of my life. I'll miss our friendship. I'll miss being able to speak with him at 4 in the morning. I would wake up early, and he wouldn't have been asleep yet, and I'd say, okay, I got to go to work, and he'd go, I got to go to bed. But I feel very lucky that we had this friendship. In closing, I want to read from a poem that Brooksy actually found several weeks ago that I think Howie would have loved this poem. He would love that it was being read here today about him, and it sure captures the way he lived his life. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on his tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of his birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that he spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved him know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. Rest in peace, my great friend.